Let's give them something to talk about. I see the energy running out. I got a planet to run around. Okay, okay. You ain't do nothing but run your mouth.
Hey, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. We got that intro down, and sounds are good. So our goal is to get started as quick as possible without tech issues. Apologies to anybody that's like waits for us to start at 9:30. You should always know that. Well, everybody probably does know this. With us, just wait like 10 or 15 minutes until we get our
figure everything out on the back end.
Yeah, because otherwise we either figure it out beforehand, or we figure it out when we're on the air. Yeah. And I think the latter is far more annoying. But it's I'm looking forward to this one. Tim's going to join us in a few minutes.
He's coaching class right now.
Yeah,
huh?
Yeah, he is. And starting late is my fault. My apologies. I was running late this morning. So, but anyway, I wanted to get with Zia. Zia's OG CrossFit Counterculture down in San Diego-ish, and Encinitas, a little bit north of that. Very beautiful area. I've not been to your gym. I'm looking forward to visiting it, and I may do that this year because we like to do a San Diego trip every year. So we'll come down and drop in. Maybe can we, if we come down, could we borrow some kettlebells? Take them down to the beach.
Borrow some kettlebells? You mean you don't want to work out in her gym?
It's an inside joke that I'm going to get in trouble for later.
I'm curious about this inside joke.
Yeah, no, you're not. We got to move quickly on the subject so it doesn't get clipped and put out there. But it, because I've had that. We've had that request here, by the way, where people want to take equipment. I'm just like, as affiliate owners, I could have the oldest, nastiest piece of equipment in the corner of the gym, but if you ask me to borrow it for something and take it out of my gym, I'm like, it's just like
no shot.
Yeah.
My toys. You don't like sharing your toys.
Yeah, that's what it is. I think it's kind of that we don't like sharing our toys. Like I know every piece of equipment in here. My wife is better or worse, I should say, at that. She knows everything in this gym.
Yeah, she's got like an equipment list in her head.
Yeah, we just bought these. By the way, great. We went online and found these basically handstand push-up mats. So we've in the past we use, I don't know what you guys use for handstand push-ups. Everybody likes a little padding, and so we used to have a partner in here that was leasing from us space for his jiu-jitsu business. When he left us 5 of his old jiu-jitsu mats. And they're like 3 foot by 5 foot, something like that, or
a little bigger than that.
Like
some are like 3, 4 feet.
But they're really nice for handstand push-ups because they got that nice density where your hands don't sink in, but then your head doesn't get whacked. And people love them. But each one's like 120 pounds. It's like moving around a dead body.
It's like moving around a stall mat.
Yeah, not that I know what moving around a dead body would be, but I could imagine it would. And so and we've had those for years and everybody loves them, but I found these ones. I went online and found these roll-up ones that are similar, right? They're nice and firm, but they roll up and they're like 1/10 of the weight.
Yeah.
They are fantastic, and they roll up in a ball. They're easy to store. They're easy to move around. They're awesome. They're about I got them for $126 each on Amazon. And I highly recommend them because they're nice and people love them. And if they're doing the open, for example, or
could tape the mark.
Yeah, you can tape the mark on them. Like if they're big enough to where you can put the mark on them, so they don't have to stress about that. But they come also with a band that goes around them. It's just an elastic band that goes around them. So we got 2 of these things to test them.
Is that what those bands were?
Yeah,
I saw those elastic bands hanging. I was like, where did those come from?
Yeah, so I don't know where you saw them hanging. Where'd you see them hanging?
On the whiteboard.
When?
This morning when I opened.
Oh, they were?
I mean, we used the mats today, so it's
I know,
like the band.
but
What is the band? What's the band for?
Well, the band
it's like an elastic band.
Keeps it all together so that you can pick it up and move it around.
Oh, okay.
These things.
Gotcha.
Literally 2 days later, those bands are gone. My point being that
Oh,
Yvonne
you
noticed, Yvonne noticed that the bands were gone, and she sent emails to the.
Well, talk to him. Sounds like he knows where they are.
Whoever closed last night found them and put them on the whiteboard with the markers on.
All right, Jamie's disavowing any knowledge of knowing where that they were there. Okay, so if Yvonne is listening, which she might be on Facebook, Yvonne, we found the bands.
Yes, there's
she knows where everything is in this gym, and which is great. That's just you guys know. You have a skill that's like that. You want to know where everything is. You don't want to lose. I hate it when equipment's missing.
So you can't borrow a kettlebell from her gym when you go down to visit.
I'm not as particular about gym equipment leaving the gym.
Well, so anyway, so everyone, this is. I hope this is the last discussion this week on the affiliate fees. I did want to get Z on because Z has been around. She's OG, been around a long time, and then Tim's going to come on. He's been around a long time, and we I think all of our kind of opinions on it are slightly different, though we're in alignment with our support for CrossFit. And Tim, Tim, I tell you right now, when he first found out about it, he was like, he sent me angry texts.
I was gonna say I could see Tim being upset.
Oh yeah, he's OG, and he got started in his garage. He was scraping by trying to take care of his family, and so that $500 amount was significant to him. So he'll give you some perspective because he's come around on the whole process.
$500 amount?
No, I'm sorry, that's right. Yeah, he started at $1,000.
Okay.
I started at 500.
My affiliate fee was like $2,500 or $2,000.
And what year did you start?
I affiliated in 2010.
2010. It was 2000 probably.
I think it was 2000.
Yeah. Zia, what'd you start at, if we can ask?
We're at 1,000.
You're at 1,000. And what year did you start?
2009.
Wow. Okay. All right. So it went from so ours was we officially affiliated in 2006. So it was 500, and then it went up 100% because everybody loves these percentage numbers. It's going up 50%.
It's a nice tagline.
It's going up 70%. So affiliate fees for Zia, she should be really mad at me.
Yeah, you kind of
because we were at $500, and then her fees went up 100%. But and then what's different here is, and I'm gonna take ownership of some of this. They're no longer grandfathering, and they're no longer gonna. What they're gonna do is, if for us, for Diablo, we're gonna go up to, I think we go up to 2,500 the first year.
They're easing you into it versus
it's not until my affiliate fees renew, which are the third month of the third quarter of next year. That's when our affiliate fees go up. So it's not immediate, and it's not as dramatic as everyone portends it to be. I may get some pushback on that, but switching to a monthly with no interest is pretty cool. Mm-hmm. If anyone thinks this is a cash grab by CrossFit, there's no overnight. 15 million or however much money people calculated on an estimated 20 million, whatever it is, that's not going into their bank accounts tomorrow.
Yeah.
This is a 2 to 3 year process. This process that they're doing of raising affiliate fees should give people hope for longevity of the current management team, because it's going to take time for this to affect the financials of CrossFit. Why? Yeah. Because a lot of people, a lot of affiliates, including us, I'm going to switch to monthly. If you're offering me, when I go in, if I buy if I bought a car and I could get the same price by putting cash down 100% or just making payments of the same amount, no interest,
it's a no-brainer.
100. It's a no-brainer. I want my money in my pocket.
They shifted that this last year, didn't they?
Yeah,
when they allowed the payments.
Yeah, they allowed the payments at 20%. So you were paying a good premium to be able to do that, which, in my opinion, is more of a cash grab than raising the affiliate fees to market value.
That's a good
point.
It
is. So a ton of affiliates are going to switch to monthly.
Yeah.
So instantly your cash flow drops, your monthly cash flow drops. and then it's going to get spread out, and very few people are January to January. So whatever your fiscal year is for your business, like this is spread out over a few years. So almost everybody, many people will switch, including us, just because it's the smart thing to do.
Yeah.
And then so that's an added benefit for affiliates. And then we go to 2,500, and then the next year we go to 4,500. And the first year, the 2,500, 500 of that I can use towards certification for either myself or for someone else.
That's kind of cool. It kind of eases the burden of the extra.
Yeah, for the first year, it eases the burden, and then it
is that so that doesn't carry forward afterwards.
No.
Okay, so it's just the one
time. I misread it when I first read it, and I thought it did, and that's where Tim got all pissed off. No, it doesn't. We were getting screwed. It's only the first year. But again, so if they switch to monthly, it's still a lot of instant cash. Not necessarily,
because then they would have more consistent flow income because it's now coming in monthly versus waiting for your annual to run out.
Oh, I guess so.
Right.
Yeah, I guess it improves their cash. It makes their cash flow more
consistent,
more predictable, but not necessarily a lot of instant cash.
Yeah.
No.
Because here's why, Wad Zombie, because people will only get to when their dues are up.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not switching to monthly
until
now. I can't switch
your dues are up.
until my dues are up, and then I switch.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then instead of getting $2,500 from me, CrossFit's going to get, what is that, $200 a month.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to get $200. So whatever it is like August of next year, instead of getting $2,500 from me, they're getting $200 from me.
Mm-hmm. And then every month.
Yeah, and every month. So instantly their cash flow for the month of October is $2,300 less instant. Just that's one affiliate.
Yeah.
And if every affiliate does it, that's a big change.
Yeah.
But I'm doing all the talking, and I hate when I do all the talking. And
you're briefing it all.
Yeah, but I'm not umming and on. I'm trying to avoid that. I'm trying to talk a little faster because I'm so self-conscious now that Pedro and everybody's made fun of me for.
Get over it.
I know, but I'm self-conscious about it. But Zia, what are give me your overall take on the affiliate fees? Because you surprised me a little bit too, how quickly you were on board with this.
I feel like this is long overdue. I've been saying it for years that the affiliate fee needs to go up. The barrier of entry to own a CrossFit needs to be more than, what is it now, $3,000 and a level 1.
Mm-hmm.
As inflation, I've raised my prices many times since I've opened the gym.
Yeah.
And CrossFit hasn't raised their prices at all. And I've known, it's no secret that CrossFit's struggling financially. Like, they announced it this past week, but anyone who's paying attention knows that, it's been a long haul for them. Well, they're working with revenue from 2011.
Yeah.
People say, well, they raised the rates. They're bringing in $60 million from affiliates now. And it's like $60 million for an international company to progress and move forward, and forging elite fitness is not that much money when you think about it. And so, I mean, no, they can't do marketing for us. No, they can't offer more services for affiliates. No, they can't do any of that stuff. No, they cannot afford to put ESPN back in the picture for the games. They don't have any money. I've always thought it needed to go up.
I agree, and that's one of the things. Here's what I met with Don a year and a half ago. I had the privilege to be able to meet with him, or a year ago. I think it was a year ago. And in that discussion, he asked kind of what kind of things do you think we should do? And one of them I said is, you guys need to stop grandfathering rates.
Yeah.
I adopted the grandfathered rates model because CrossFit did it with us. In the very beginning with Diablo, I adopted that methodology. And the challenge was that as my expenses went up and my investment in the business went up, my newer members were having to bear the burden of that increase, and and it created a little bit of animosity in the gym, especially as they found out, older members were not good at keeping it a secret.
Yeah. It's almost kind of flaunting it.
They were. There's people.
My rate's
paying
this.
$100, and I would get newer members asking me, well, I heard some members in this gym are only paying $110 a month. Why am I paying $175?
Yeah.
And that's painful. That's hard to explain. Well, they were here first. Yeah, but they're getting the same level of service. They're getting this, using the same equipment. They're getting this, the coaches, they're getting the same time with the coaches. And I and for us, we couldn't continue to put that burden on the newer members coming in, because we wouldn't get newer members. So by raising the rates for the members, for our grandfathered members, and we did it over a 2-year period of time, raising those rates for older members, we were able to maintain a more cost-effective membership rate for a longer period of time. We don't have to raise rates as fast.
Yeah. Just a quick question. What caused them not to increase the rates? Because, I mean, Craig, Diablo grandfathered in originally at 500. Zia, you were at 1,000. My affiliate, CrossFit Burn, in 2010 was 2,000. Then it went to 3,000. Why did it stop from 2011 till now for them to increase the rates?
That's a good question. I don't know why.
That's an excellent question.
Everybody should have seen it coming if that's the case.
If we just look at that fact alone and people are upset, it's like, well, they've historically done it more frequently than they're doing it now. And part of that might have been because Greg was focused on other things before he ultimately sold it. He was checked out a little bit on the affiliate side.
Well, here's the other thing.
That's a good point.
Yeah, here's the other thing. The company was profitable. It was nicely
between
profitable.
L1s and everything else.
Between 2011
affiliates,
between 2011 2018, it was profitable. In 2018, the company generated $38 million from affiliates. Training certifications was $38 million. So virtually the same amount, right? So that's almost $80 million. And then the games were generated $14 million. And this is from a document, by the way, that was entitled Caretakers of the Forest. And so those numbers that's actually more revenue than we generated last year. And it wasn't until 2015, because they were still continuing to add affiliates aggressively all the way up until 2015, and that's when they peaked. And then the number of affiliates started to decline. The number of new affiliates, I should say that. Let me just add that. That's the number of new affiliates started to decline. The total number of affiliates didn't hit a negative mark until after 2018. Then they started to recede. In other words, the total number of affiliates started to decline in 2018. So the acceleration stopped, and every year they were adding less and less new affiliates, and then certifications started to drop as well.
Yeah.
And the games grew from that time, from 2010 until 2018, grew significantly, and carried the bulk of expenses of the company. That's not a condemnation of the CrossFit Games on my part, because I love the CrossFit Games, and they had a significant amount of value. And one of the things I think affiliates need to get over is the fact that you can't expect the 3 divisions of CrossFit to all be profitable all the time. Yeah. Very few companies do that. There are times
very few companies have 3 divisions.
Well, that's right. Three operating divisions. And there is added value within the CrossFit Games that is worth paying for. It is I've said this multiple times. This is my mantra. The games in the open are a unique and distinguishing characteristic of CrossFit. They allow us to essentially prove out that the the definition of fitness, increase work capacity across broad time and multiple domains. Like we get to demonstrate exactly what it is, and it draws a lot of attention. A lot of people added a lot of members who are heard of CrossFit for the first time because of the CrossFit Games. And so, and what's really cool now, and Dave said this in his weekly review just the other day, that the games now are self-sufficient. He's gotten to the point where it is the games, the open and the games pay for themselves. They're not a drag on.
So
earnings.
it's not like the affiliates are paying for the games now.
No,
because that was the case before, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's positive.
And anybody that asks, hey, where are the? Hold on 1 second. Gotta restart computer. Oh, Tim
trying to get in.
Yeah, got to restart my computer to be right there. Oh, this is.
Here we go.
That's not a good sign. But anybody, so they're in a good position.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that people, all of a sudden suddenly want to know is, where are they spending all of this money?
Where was that question 10 years ago?
What? That's right. Because it was a lot more money. Exactly.
It was so much more money, and nothing was done for the affiliates 10 years ago.
Yeah.
The fact, also into their defense, what is CrossFit doing with all this money? Did you guys attend either of the town hall meetings?
Yes, I did.
The last one was yesterday.
Yeah,
they pretty much laid it out what their immediate plans to do with that funds is, and I think they did an okay job with explaining exactly where that money was going to be going. And then people just started complaining about they're not. The
only thing about having 13,000 affiliates, you have 13,000
voices.
You have 13,000 voices.
Yeah.
And 13,000 opinions.
And some of them are going to be angry,
right? From various different backgrounds. Yeah. And I can, I've got tremendous amount of corporate experience. I've worked in middle management before. I've worked in senior management before, even C-level management. And I can tell you right now, I do not want that job. Like it's why I really enjoy being an affiliate owner, and it's because, and it's one of the things that I feel is incumbent upon affiliates. If you want to do this, if you're signing up and you're signing that affiliate agreement, you are binding yourself to a contract to support the methodology and the company going forward. If you don't want to do that, that's okay. Just remove your affiliation and be Jamie Lee's gym, Jamie Lee's functional fitness gym, Jamie Lee's community fitness gym. Yeah. So I think it's important that you have, if you have not met there's more opportunity. Zia will agree with this, because we have Katie now. You have tons in the West region. We have tons of places in order to vent frustrations, get feedback heard,
which wasn't there before.
No, absolutely not. I guarantee you, conversations that Zia has had with Katie Hogan, our Western Regional Manager, or conversations that Tim has had or I have made their way to Austin, the guy who runs all of affiliates, and maybe even and likely been the topic of conversation with the CEO.
With Dawn, yeah.
It was never possible before for any affiliate. Tim, welcome to the podcast. It sounds like it's buzzing on your end.
Is it buzzing? My computer, the fan's running. I'm about to be buzzing.
Okay.
I think it's definitely your mic.
There's definitely your mic.
You gave me this mic.
Yeah, but you
fucked it up is what happened.
All I did was plug it in.
It's really bad.
That's one way.
It's pretty terrible.
It's buzzing terribly. So unplug it completely. Okay, good. Now switch your mic, because we can't hear you talking. Now switch your mic in your settings on your computer.
I was going to say, if it doesn't work, he should just go to his computer.
Yeah.
Take the mic out of it for today.
And put your mic setting on the proper setting. And plug it back in and try it again. But that's the beauty of affiliation. Is like you're not if you're a franchise. By the way, you can't get out of a franchise.
Yeah.
Without spending a lot of money and paying your attorney.
Yeah, you have to pay out.
Yeah, there's and so that's one of the beauties of affiliation. And it's if you decide not to come along for the ride, don't come along for the ride. The one of the things that I think is powerful is the number of affiliates that we have, and if we all get on board, and I don't want to sound like that cheerleader, but if we all got on board and we all really got excited about what we're doing every day and what CrossFit plans to do for us, a little bit of optimism, I think we all have the ability to turn this whole thing around.
It's a glass half full kind of situation.
Right.
I mean, it's a great way to look at it because it's going up. So
Yeah.
might as well have that. You can, especially with monthly, give it a try.
Tim, what was your first reaction to the affiliate fee increase? So you have
his mic is off.
Oh, wait, no, it's just muted. Here, let me.
I can't unmute him either.
You can't. Unmute mic. Oh, Tim, unmute your mic. Select unmute.
I think he's got to go into his settings to change.
You got to go in your
mic.
settings and change your mic. No. Did I predict this or not?
Yeah, we did. We talked about it. No.
We did call it.
But it wouldn't be a podcast with Craig unless there was at least technical difficulties.
You could say it's better this time around since I'm here today, right?
It is. It is. I will say it is. I will.
Granted, the first time you were on, I definitely screwed it up.
Tim, go into your. Yes, now we got you.
Yeah, bingo.
And it sounds
does
good.
that work?
Yeah, no buzzing.
Okay, no buzzing. I don't know. It's probably something I did. Well, I'll tell you before I tell you the first reaction, because what you said about like with all those people and getting involved and being a part of it, it just made me think of my big fat Greek wedding. And do you remember she was complaining about to her mom about like her dad or something like that. And she goes, yes, the man is the head of the family. He goes, but you are like the neck and you can turn the head, right? And that's what you can do as a community, right? The community can decide, hey, this is important to me. Mm-hmm. This is important to us. And so we are going to start from affiliates focusing on something, whatever that might be, right? If the affiliates start really hammering like, hey, like, throwing out articles and, coming together or putting together a talk about, like big pharma, big food, whatever, right? Like whatever the cause needs to be, guess what? You're turning the head, they'll come on board. Look at what they've done with Dale, right? Like Dale did that on his own, created a program, and now the head is looking at the addiction situation, right? So like, so that's what I would think of as far as like
good analogy.
That's a great
influence
analogy
of the community on the head. Like, can we really like control the head? But you could get them looking in the direction that you want.
Mm-hmm. Influence by action.
Yeah.
And I love that. That's something that I've talked with Matt Schindeldecker about too, because he's got his program with the prisons first of all, with the probation centers, with the youth probation centers, and now he's going to set up 30 affiliates in prisons throughout the state of Ohio. Like, you think Matt's going to have the ability to influence CrossFit? So when they get 30 affiliates paying 30 affiliate fees, he will. Mm-hmm. And they're going to look at that and go, maybe we need to look at other states. Maybe we need to take this program and empower other affiliates to do the same thing. That's a great analogy.
Yeah. Are they nonprofits that are going into prisons?
No. I asked him that. He said, no, they're for profits. He's doing it. He's going to organize and run it. So he's going to pay a crew, and which requires him to be able to pay. So he said, setting up a nonprofit was just, it was difficult. He goes, I've already got it approved as it is, as a for-profit. And he goes, to change it would be would could create significant complications.
Right. Oh, good for him. My first reaction was, as you know, geez, man.
Is that how it
$4,500, you know, like I'm not quite the super OG. I don't get steps, right? Like I don't get a step, right? I was talking to a guy yesterday, but like the 500 folks go to 1,000, and then from 1,000, then you jump up, right?
Right.
We jumped from 2,000, and I'm fine with it. You know, ultimately, I mean, it's not the most pleasant experience. It's kind of like, but it's the way I look at it. It doesn't. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter what I've boiled it down to. It doesn't matter what the decision is. It's still, you know what? It's CrossFit HQ. Whether it's Greg, whether it's these guys. Guess what? They're the worst at rolling out any announcement ever.
That is
only one announcement that's ever come over smoothly, right? So it's like they're like, well, just rip the Band-Aid off, right? Like, and so then you're like, okay, well, you know, and then because they know, they're like, well, they got you over a barrel, and they're like, well, what are you gonna do? Quit?
Admittedly, delivering a message to 13,000 affiliates, and a message as complex as this that involves multiple people within their own organization. And they get, they checked with a lot of people about this. Like they didn't just do this, by the way, they didn't do this in a vacuum. They consulted with their regional managers, and they consulted with affiliate owners. There's a whole lot of going on. So then, of course, that information starts to leak out. Mm-hmm. And then everyone's like wondering what they're going to announce. So they can't keep this a secret. They can't even control the information in their own organization. I can't control info. I told people at Diablo, if you want a secret to be kept in this gym, do not tell me, because I'm the worst. I'll whisper it to somebody else.
That's the truth.
Like you think about that. That's the power of community. We are a community. Community is inherent in what we do, and community means we all talk.
Yeah.
And so everybody gets all of a sudden, well, it wasn't announced properly. Shut the fuck up. I was coaching class, and the email went out, and one of my members had to tell me. Good on your member. I'm glad they told you.
That's the sign of a good community. You're right.
Hey, we're going to send out an email to everybody. When are you going to be free so we can personalize it for you, Mr. 12,973?
I mean, let's be honest. It doesn't matter how they announced it. It was not. Exactly. We're going to have something bad to say on how they announced it, no matter how it was announced.
It's 100%.
The way that things work. It's a heated situation. And
I told Yvonne about it, and she was like, oh shit. Like again, that's the reaction we should have.
Yeah.
When your fee goes from 500 to 2,500 to 4,500, like, oh shit. That nice little comfy little $500 annual fee I had is gone. Yes, I'm a little tweaked about it. But then I started to think about, I want CrossFit to be profitable and comfortable. I want the employees of CrossFit to feel excited to come into work. I want the employees of CrossFit to get a really nice bonus at the end of the year if they do their jobs. I want CrossFit to develop technology that helps us do our jobs better. I want CrossFit to have data collection systems that helps them predict what's going to happen in the future. I want good Dave Castro to have a huge budget so that he can manage the whole video review process better. I want a really cool CrossFit Games in a location that we want to go to and that my members want to go to and view. I want all of those things. Those things cost money. And I trust right now, if anybody's met with him or listened to him, Don Fall is a smart motherfucker. Yes, he didn't come directly out of CrossFit. I'm not necessarily sure we want people to come directly out of here. We didn't do such a great fucking job of running this whole thing for these 15 years.
Speak for yourself, Greg.
Let's make Tim the CEO. saying cool, easy things that you would.
If I was called to duty, man, I'd answer the call. I'll do my best.
Yeah, you would. And we'd all be doing burpees, anytime we're late for a podcast or something like that.
Well, don't start at 9:30 for crying out loud.
We'd all be drinking Monster energy drinks too.
Monster energy.
Tim, he was late too, just so you know. Craig was also late today, so don't let him.
but it's easy to on a podcast to make criticisms and say all the things that you would do, and here's what we did in the past. Would be better. Make me the CEO. That's just like, are you kidding me? The
Or
amount
make me
of
the CEO again. Do we want to go there?
someone. No, we don't want to go there yet. But it's like someone who is the people that are saying those things have never been in those positions before. I think, like,
Probably.
you don't understand the scope of things that they're dealing with on an ongoing basis. Like,
I think those are the people that also don't know where they're going to get the extra $120 a month, which
you're right. And if you can't, which brings us back to why they did.
Can't. Yeah.
And I want to remind everybody too, when it was $500 and then $1,000, and this thing was on the rapid pace of growth that it was, there were affiliates opening up everywhere. I remember nonstop the complaints. CrossFit, it
literally down the street from
yes,
another one.
Yes,
high five on your 200-meter runs.
Remember the one in Lahaina?
Lahaina, yeah.
And I remember getting emails from the owner of Lahaina. Just he was devastated by it.
Yeah,
coaches would leave and go rent space 3 doors down because that's what was created. It was like a frenzy.
I mean, that was Greg's kind of thought, though, is let the cream rise to the top.
And there's some value in that, but it also created a lot of I think a lot of reason why affiliates didn't talk to each other for 10 to 15 years is because everybody was just trying to freaking make it, and hopefully someone didn't leave. I remember CrossFit San Francisco, their head coach, one of their top coaches left. I won't name names, but it went and opened up around the corner. It took 30% of their members when they're paying $30,000 a month for rent. And they lost 30% of the members. That's devastating. And the reason why you could do this is because it was so cheap to open up an affiliate.
Yeah.
You make it $4,500. So those people that are bitching about, I want you to go back and look at your old emails, your old angry emails that you sent to affiliate support that never got answered, and read those emails and remind yourself. And then that's why the affiliate fee went up. Mm-hmm. That's what $4,500 makes it a little hard for someone to go. One of my coaches to go down the street and open it up affiliate. Like $4,500,
and now you have to have a level 2, right?
And now you got to have a level 2.
Yeah,
and you have to have a level 2.
That's why it's $7,000.
Not to mention
insurance.
Let's talk about that for a second.
What was that, Zia?
Not to mention, like, you got to open a CrossFit gym nowadays with like a fully stocked, ready to roll, beautiful facility. Right. When I opened my gym, it was like CrossFit was what I said it was. So, back in the day, opening a CrossFit, you truly only needed $1,000 and the ability to sign your name.
Fill some basketballs up with sand. You got med balls.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing. Everybody forgets, like, if someone wants to go open up a CrossFit and open up a functional fitness gym and do CrossFit, they can. Yeah. They can go get their level 1. They can open up a gym. They can call it whatever they want to call it. It just can't be labeled CrossFit, but they can do all of the things that we did. But here we go. Back in my day, people didn't know who the fuck CrossFit was. Yeah. I could have been Diablo, XFit.
I got members off Craigslist, man.
I mean, before I opened my affiliate, we had a program that was called FitQuest. Like,
yeah, you can open up a gym and learn all of the skills for marketing and client retention and client recruitment and all of those things for it, do that for a year or two, build it up, and then affiliate.
Isn't that what the guy near you is doing, Craig?
Yes. MabaFit. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Over in Concord, right?
Yeah. And he came out of a CrossFit gym that closed, CrossFit Overwatch, and he opened up his own box. And he didn't want to, when he left before they closed. He knew they were closing, but he left before, and he didn't want to make it a CrossFit gym because he didn't want to, create that animosity, which is really cool. Great guy.
Respectful.
Derek. And so he's opening up a gym, and he's now MabaFit, and he's doing CrossFit in his gym. Mm. And Maba, by the way, I was like, well, hey, because he got big neon. It's make America buff again, which is so good. But he's going to get his affiliation, and he texted me after this whole change. He goes, I'm going to get my level 2, and I'm going to pay the $4,500. I'm doing it. And he's got a thriving business. This guy's CrossFit wants this guy.
He packs him in there. I mean, he needs a bigger space.
Yeah.
What's he in? What's he inside of?
It's like is
that one of the hangars over there?
No. He's in Concord now, and he's in a retail space. It was a restaurant.
Oh, okay.
But he's got to move. The owner's selling the building.
That's great. Oh,
That's
I know.
that's not
Yeah.
the best kind of
But
movie.
I think
that's not the.
no, I tried to connect him with a couple people, but
I mean, that happened to Annie.
Yeah.
That's why Annie Sakamoto
Yeah,
moved
that's
out.
right. Same with Nicole Christensen at CrossFit Roots. Yeah. By the way, if you just a word of advice for affiliate owners, if you're going to sign a lease, sign when your first lease. Make sure you got your money saved up. You got lots of money saved, and do a 3-year lease. Don't do this month-to-month stuff.
You mean don't go right into a 10-year either?
Well, yeah, 10 years.
Make sure
I'm
there's
just
money.
finishing
Make sure
up
Somewhere in
there's
between.
so that's the start of 5.
Somewhere in between. I did a 10-year and almost lost
You
it.
did 10-year and then found out you weren't even zoned.
It wasn't even supposed to be there. Don't do that.
Well, I signed a
But I
10-year.
mean, that's part of it, right?
I signed a 10-year and it took me a year to get in. And I had to pay. I was paying double rent. I was paying where we were operating, and I was paying where we just had an empty building waiting on permitting and architecture and all that stuff and planning. I paid that for probably 9 to 10 months, like double, like rent at 2 places. It was terrible.
That's brutal.
Yeah, my broker didn't help me.
Yeah.
You learn.
That's
But now
experience.
we're going into, but then there was an auto renewal to be able to roll right into a 5-year extension. So we're going to do that coming up in February.
One of the things that I wanted to talk about is advice that you would give new affiliate owners. We're kind of on that topic, so let's stay here for a second, because I think knowing and understanding leases is important. But my number one recommendation to new affiliate owners is to do what Derek at Maba is doing. He reached out to me and said, "Hey, first of all, he came over here and bought 2 used assault bikes." And then introduced himself to me and told me what he was doing. I said, "Hey, give me a call anytime." And I honestly, and Tim and I have talked about these kinds of encounters we've had with people. We, by the way, if you do tell us you're going to talk to us, we are measuring you. Tim and I are judging you instantly,
Just sizing you up as soon as it
and
comes out.
we'll trade texts about the guy that came, and I told him to call me, and then he never called me. And Derek followed up and met with me for an hour and a half, and then followed up again and said he wants to meet with me and Yvonne with his wife. Yeah, and that's how you the lease experience that Zia's had and that Tim's had and I've had right there. We're going to give you we're going to help you avoid that big mistake that you might make. So that's
the number one thing. That's like the number one thing. As a new affiliate, talk to other affiliate owners. Talk to affiliate owners that have made every mistake you're about to potentially make, and just learn from them.
And you'll still make them. You'll still make plenty.
You're still going to make your friend. Yeah. Or you'll find a creative way to make a new mistake, but talk to affiliate owners.
You'll find a creative way to make it. That's good. That is good.
I mean, it's going to happen, but just talk to as many. I remember Craig at the games, you and I sat for like an hour and just talked about all of the mistakes that we made over the years, like all of the ridiculous things that we did starting an affiliate. And we talked for like an hour about that.
And the beauty is those mistakes that you make are the advice that you're going to give future affiliate owners. And
which in the long run helps the new affiliate be better. So it
right.
only raises CrossFit experience across the board.
Shortens the learning curve.
Yeah.
That's why it's $4,500, bitches. You can get all these affiliate owners that have already done everything. We've already paid our dues. You could pay up for that shit. You know?
Well, I think if I can go back to a little bit like the announcement part, I'm big on explaining, right? Like, tell me what you're thinking, and I think, and here's the irony, right? Like, it doesn't matter who the CEO or management team is, they seem to suck at this, right? Like, they are not good communicators, right?
No.
Like, tell us, like, okay, we're going to do these initiatives. What initiative? We're going to do these systems. What systems? We're going to do this marketing. What marketing? Right? Like, how many video people are you? How many editors are you going to hire? How many editors are you going to, computers are you going to buy? Like, if you say that, then it's like, oh, okay. I know exactly what we're doing. Oh, we're going to pay some totally out of the realm marketing company to ask a bunch of questions that have nothing to do with CrossFit. Right? Then we're going to say, like, well, that's stupid. Right? Like, I don't know. I mean, but if you explain it, then it's like, oh, okay. And like they said, hey, you're going to pull the info from Chris Cooper, right? You're going to be like, okay, here's the state of the industry.
What happened?
questions. I don't know.
He froze.
Mine didn't get asked. But the thing he does say, if you're going to raise rates, explain it. Say, hey, you know what? We're going to make it fair for everyone. Then I would have been way more like, you know what? That's totally fine. Like, well, yeah, they should not be pulling my weight, right? Like,
right.
you know, that like then it's like, well, sure, because that's exactly the way we do it here in the gym.
I
right?
think yes, and I don't want to make excuses, but I think CrossFit's, like you said, CrossFit's never really been good at these types of communications. They've never really wanted to do these types of
No matter
communications.
who's at the top, too.
Yeah,
I mean,
no matter who it was.
2018, right?
Yeah, so because I was going to blame it on where they came from. And one of the things I told them is ask us for help. Ask the affiliates for help, because that's why we got into this. Like it's inherent in our nature.
Mm-hmm.
And in many cases, CrossFit's kind of taken advantage of our, desire to help people, because we go out and we spend our, last dime. We sign terrible leases. We make all sorts of bad business decisions so we can help people.
Mm-hmm.
And so, entrusting us to help, that's unique, I think, for any company. Like that's having 13,000 people that run their own small business, but yet want to help this entire organization thrive. Is unique, and I think it's uncomfortable for management to want to say, "Hey, we need your help." You get it. If that, I think if that had been the first words out of their mouth, like, "Hey, look, we have obligations to the private equity company. We can't go back and change who bought this company." By the way, it's not a venture capital company. For every dumbass commenter and affiliate owner out there that continues to preach about venture capital, it is not a venture capital. Just Google this shit. It's a private equity company. These are investors. Yes, they invest and they look for aggressive returns, but it's an investment company that has a much longer runway typically than a venture capital company. So that was a side note. Sorry, I went off. But we can't go back and change who bought it. What we can do is meet the expectations of that board and demonstrate to them that this company is worth hanging on to and being a part of for the long term. But we need you, the affiliate owners, we need your help to do this. Here's where we are where we believe that we're deficient. One, the client experience is not consistent. We don't need to franchise. You don't all need to do what Diablo's doing or what CrossFit Palo Alto's doing. Or what Z is doing at Counterculture, but what you need to do is create a good client experience. So when they go in for the first time, that they enjoy it, they stay there a longer term. So that's beneficial for you. And then they tell 10 people, because we know that the bulk of referrals to this business, to CrossFit, come from the affiliates and referrals from affiliates. So we need your help there. And then we also need more revenue to be able to drive more people there and improve the systems, and then reward our employees here that are doing a good job helping grow this thing. That's why we're doing this. We need your help.
I need a little bit of humility from their part.
Yeah, a little bit of humility. And I think it's just that Dave's never going to ask for help. Dave, because he's a badass. Like the guy, there's a hill to climb and 15 guys to kill at the top. Fuck, I don't need you. If you want to come and fucking help me, it'll be easier, but I'm going to go do it myself.
Yeah.
With my dog. And Nicole Carroll, Nicole Carroll is, she's a goddess. She can just wave her hands and make everything happen. She doesn't need us. Thank God we have her though. And then Don, those guys, Don and Jay, they come from a world of everything's Zoom, and
they're newer to the system.
They're newer to this
Zoom. Okay, Mike, you got to show Mike's comment.
Which one?
The Diablo one.
This guy?
Yes. Diablo Parfit theory.
Berkshire Vid. But we want to make if Don wants to make the private equity guys happy, I think he feels that's important. So do I.
Yeah.
Will not make anybody.
They are the head at this point.
Yeah.
We are still the neck.
Let me tell you what will not make any of this work and us be able to continue to do what we do so well with this amazing methodology is is if Berkshire gets pissed that stuff's not happening, and then they divest us, and there will be no white knight. The next company isn't going to come in and go, oh, I'll buy that. I can fix it. Yeah, really? Because multiple people have tried. It's a dysfunctional biker gang that does amazing things to help people change their lives and cure chronic disease. It's really freaking cool, but it's not an easy morass to deal with. Anyway, I'm venting.
I mean, it's just like our gyms. We can't help people in our gyms if we shut down because we've managed money improperly. It's the same thing with CrossFit headquarters.
100%.
We can't continue helping people if we are not a profitable business. And I tell affiliate owners when I talk to them all the time, you will help 0 people if you don't know your numbers. Sit down, do your books, learn the business. It's the same thing for them. And they know that, but they need our support in that. And that's why I've been saying for years, the affiliate fee needs to go up.
Agree. The one of the things that I think is interesting, and is people look at this, CrossFit has, and Don Fall and his team have set some really big expectations for themselves. You know, when I was managing salespeople back in the day, here we go with the story, and I'll get to the point sooner than you think, Taylor. But when I managed salespeople and they went out and bought a car or bought a house, there's a certain amount of satisfaction. I said, well, that's cool, man. These people are doing well and I'm helping them. But then I also internally thought, man, great. I've got some they have expectations. I know they're going to work harder because they have those things. And so the expectations now are very high. Don has said okay, you're raising the affiliate fees. You have this is like, of all the things to do, this would be the most difficult thing to do. And now you've set an incredible barrier that you have to get over. Mm. You've got to satisfy everybody now. Cause even I'm going to look at them like, okay, we raise your affiliate fees. You got more cash flow now. Granted, it's going to take a while for it to level out and really hit the bottom line, but and you're making all these promises. Let's see what you're going to do. Yeah. Let's see it. The expectations are really high now for them. And I like that.
That's a big contrast, right? I mean, that's one of the things we were talking about yesterday is that's the thing that actually, that's probably the one thing that gives me the biggest hope. Like you were saying, one of the topics, right, for next year, like 2024 expectations or goals or whatever you want to happen is like is to really be helpful in that sense, right? Like that they now have a fiduciary responsibility to perform. Yes. Before there was no responsibility. It didn't matter that there were thousands of affiliates that had not paid their fees for multiple years because Greg was still getting paid pretty good, right? Like, oh, hey, you let 20% slack off. That's okay. I've got 80%, like paying the bills, right? Like, okay. But whereas now, like, yeah, guess what? It's not just going in Don's pocket. If anything, I'd say it's better because, like, yeah, he's got to perform, for someone else. So, it's got to go up the chain. So in that sense, from a business perspective, I actually like it.
That's a really good point.
Maybe not a Berkshire lover, but I can appreciate the new structure that the demands and expectations, like you're saying, on each level, right? Just like he's also not quite father figure style, but putting expectations on affiliates. Hey, you need to show up and you need to put out a good product. Right? Like we're counting on you. That's the other thing too, Craig. Like we need your help, but we also need your help to do a good job to make us look good, to make us all look good. That you have a responsibility, not just to go run your, whatever, grind them into the dirt type of gym, right? But like, hey, are you like putting out a professional product? Right.
And they won't. And the part that resonated with me is you said that like there's 20% that just, are just kind of showing up, or maybe someone's opening their gym or they give them a key pass and they go in. they won't at $4,500. I doubt they'll do that anymore. Right. At 20, it's not going to be worth it. So CrossFit instantly gets to improve quality, because I think a lot of those affiliates will just go, hey, look, this isn't going to work for me. And that's fine. Right. If you want to have your gym, a garage gym, or your small gym, or, your no coach gym that's a show up only, that's great. But $4,500 is still going to hit because you got to contribute to the success of all of CrossFit. And if you can't make it, then fine, go away. But we know, I have firsthand experience. I had an email, and I may have talked about this last week. I had an email from a client that said, hey, walked into an affiliate because his son was going to do jiu-jitsu there, and walked in. There's dogs running around off leash with kids in there, dog hair everywhere, filthy gym. And he said, no one said hi. No one greeted him. Everybody looked away, and it was really uncomfortable. He goes, I went and got back in my car and went away. And he goes, can you tell anybody about that? I'm like, yeah, but God dang. And I can't control that. And then Zia visited a CrossFit recently.
Just last week, I dropped in. I'm not going to say what state or where. And I dropped in, and it was the worst. The workout was very irresponsibly programmed. I almost died. Nobody was friendly. Nobody, the coach stood up front and was like, yeah, we got some drop-ins and we have some class pass people trying CrossFit out, and literally laughed, and was like, good luck to them. I was the class ran over like 25, 30 minutes. It was 55 minutes. And it was for those people that dropped in to try CrossFit from ClassPass, they will never in their right minds ever attempt CrossFit class ever again. And that's a bummer, because the very next day,
about it.
And they're going to tell everybody. And the very next day, we dropped into one of the best CrossFits in that area that I've ever been to, 3 miles down the road. And those people will suffer from that experience.
Yeah.
From that gym.
It's almost like you wish you could kind of connect those people with, hey, try this one again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'll drop it. I went into a great CrossFit gym recently because I was thinking about it, because I was like, hey, I usually think I don't travel very much. I don't get out. I don't do anything. I'm just in my gym. And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, hang on. Like, since 2009, I've gone to a lot of gyms. And but I just, over Thanksgiving, I went to Ukiah. I told him, he's like, who comes to Ukiah on vacation? And I go, me. I was like, I was coming to you. Because I literally looked at the map, the affiliate map, and I said, who's the farthest away from me, but yet close enough that I can get back quickly on Friday afternoon? And I was like, oh, who's this? Oh, Ukiah. I'll go there. Right? Didn't know, sent him a note, right? Ended up dropping in. Oh my gosh, like, he owns his building. He had a sauna. He just put in a cold plunge. So like,
don't tell that to Greg.
He owns it. You can stop it. He owns his building. That just pisses me off.
I know.
I've tried so hard to own a building.
This thing is like renovated,
so
like
jealous.
Reclaimed wood. I mean, his wife.
I feel like that's a rare thing in California too.
I mean,
Ukiah is not really. I mean, Ukiah is its own special little.
It is.
Area. My mom lives.
It was great.
There.
So shout out to Firefly CrossFit. Those guys are awesome.
Yeah, Firefly's
that's cool.
awesome.
That's awesome.
And that's the beauty. Like, that's what we want. We want those Ukiahs out there.
Yeah.
Right. Because I aspire to, that's my retirement is a.
And I'm sending Craig pictures. I'm like, dude, look at this gym. This is where we need to do a retreat here.
Literally think about that, by the way. Like, I'm 15 years or 16 years into this. Tim's like 13, 14 years, and we're still sending each other pictures of CrossFit gyms and CrossFit shit. That's cool. It's awesome. And that's what we should all aspire to do and to be. Like, that lifts up. Like, I'll tell that story to my coaches. Tim probably tells it to his members, and then I know my coach will be thinking, "Shit, that'd be cool."
Yeah,
what a cool. Yeah, okay. Then you got to grind. You got to pay the $4,500 to get in. You got to do all and do all the things. Get your certifications. Keep supporting CrossFit, because it really is freaking cool. Everybody wants CrossFit. Oh, what advertising to do? What advertising to do? I want direct advertising. I want advertising in my markets to drive people in. Really? Okay. Then even if your CrossFit is really good and you're going to get an awesome experience in your CrossFit gym, go drive around and check out the CrossFit gyms around you.
Remember there was that, there were one of the affiliate groups, gatherings, whatever. And somebody was like, CrossFit should do a Super Bowl ad. And you're just like,
Oh, I saw that this morning. I was like,
oh my
they
gosh,
just said
come
they have
on.
no money.
That's a great way to spend some cash.
Although, you know what would be really
more
cool?
invested like Noble and like, you know, so that they can buy an ad, you know, and then really go out of business.
This is where, by the way, and this is going to go against conventional wisdom, this is where I value MBAs. Thank God we have MBAs in senior management at CrossFit, because that's the most non-fucking MBA thing to ever say ever. Let's do a Super Bowl ad.
I don't know. There's plenty of MBAs that probably that did you watch last year's ads? Terrible.
Yeah. So I don't think a Super Bowl ad is the way to go, by the way. There are great stories out in the affiliates to tell, and I know that they're going to do more of that. By the way, if anybody hasn't looked at the content, you need to. It's hard to get into CrossFit's YouTube channel just because of the previous administration taking all of CrossFit social media down. It takes years to rebuild that viewership and placement. But if you go to CrossFit's YouTube page, there is some terrific content there. And I make it a point to reshare on our Instagram once a week something from CrossFit that they're posting, and they're producing really good content. That's going to take their marketing guy who's from wherever he's from, Pinterest or Facebook, and it's going to take Jay Coons. It's going to take them a little while to kind of get a feel for, what's going to really work for the affiliates. But their knowledge and relationships in that arena, I think, are super powerful for us, because it's not a Super Bowl commercial that's going to drive people in, but it's going to be really effective storytelling through those channels. And I want a guy, if I'm Don, I want guys that are knowledgeable with those channels and know how to work those channels and manage them and have relationships in there and can build relationships with those companies so that we get the kind of visibility that we need to drive, to support the messaging that we give in our affiliates. That was a rant.
No, it's good. Well, I mean, it's one of those things, like there's plenty of information from the past to use, right? Like pursuing excellence, and forging elite fitness. Don't need to change. You don't need to change the core values, right? But you don't. But we also don't want to live in the past, right? Like we talked about, like nostalgia, right? And it's like this idea of like, people go crazy like with the make America buff again, right? Or make America great again, whatever the tagline, right? You're like, what? We're not great now? Or like, you want to live in the past? You're like, the idea is probably like, hey, let's take what works, what we know is great, and let's continue that. But we don't need to like keep changing it, right? Like we don't need to keep, stick to the basics. That's what's amazing. I had a guy owns a business in the gym. He does like advertising type stuff. And he's like, he had never read Good to Great, Jim Collins, the book. That was my first business book that somebody referred to me to. And it's like just that hedgehog concept, right? Like get in your lane and do this well, right? And I mean, one, because of staffing and just everything else and the demands, that's all we've ever done is CrossFit class. Like we don't do a specialty class. We don't do this. We don't do a stretching. We've tried. We had someone that was a great yoga teacher. Guess what? Nobody came.
Same here.
They came to yoga. They come to CrossFit to do CrossFit, right? Like they're squeezing it in as it is. They don't have
that's the second tip for affiliate owners. One is talk to past affiliate owners or talk to other affiliate owners that have been here a while. The second thing is don't chase shiny objects. Stay in your lane and do it really, really well.
Yeah.
Because I chase so many shiny objects.
Do you know how many sandbags I have sitting outside my door right now?
Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to read
If anything, I leave them there to remind me, like, don't buy stupid stuff. I'm not going to use it.
I have a wife for that.
I'm not going to use it. What, to tell you that or to buy stupid stuff?
No, to tell me that. Don't buy stupid stuff. Do we really need that?
Like the squat, the belt squat.
Zia, what's one more thing that you would tell affiliate owners, new affiliate owners,
or old affiliate owners?
What, I want to say new affiliate owners. I want to say like the people that are just thinking about joining CrossFit right now. What other piece of information would you give them?
As an affiliate owner?
Yeah, as an affiliate.
I would say, I mean, you start your gym to help people, but you just master the business side of your business.
Yes.
It's just master that side. It's not the fun side. It's not the glamorous side. And it's probably not the strength that you're holding, because everyone opens a CrossFit gym to be passionate about CrossFit and to help people. But again, going back, you're not going to help anyone if your door is shut. So just do the work, become the best small business owner, and then hopefully big business owner that you can possibly be.
I think there are the affiliate people that were upset about the whole level 2 thing. I think they're right on one level. Like, the level 2 is not going to help make you a better business operator. It will teach you the value, reinforce the value of the CrossFit methodology, and help you deliver that methodology in a more meaningful way that will retain your customers longer, but it won't do the business side. And that was something I told Don too, is that if there is some sort of business training program that can be, either a requirement or an option for certification for affiliate owners, so that they can learn those things, what to look for in a lease. What does triple nets mean? I'm going to get a loan. What does that mean? What does paying interest mean on a loan? How many members do I have to have? What's my attrition rate? The big thing to me that was a surprise, you guys, that I've learned over the years is the attrition rate. Is how many customers leave you that you don't even know about. And man, I was like, oh, wait a minute, what? This year, we're having a great year, but this year I'm net the same as I started the year. We've introduced probably 150 people into Diablo. That means 150 people left.
Yeah.
And it's like, I didn't understand that in the beginning when we did this. So if I want to grow, I've got to, it's hard. Yeah.
And that's where a lot of fear, that's where a lot of anger, I think, came out of this announcement. And it's the uncertainty of like, well, I don't necessarily think that I'm paying my bills now. Now, what am I supposed to do? Yes. I think a lot of this reaction was fear of, I don't know my numbers. I don't know if I can afford this. I don't know, because I do talk to a lot of affiliate owners, and I do help a lot of affiliate owners and look over their finances and help them with their budgets. And 9 times out of 10, the first questions I ask, what's your monthly revenue? What's your monthly overhead? What's your budget? Those 3 questions, they might be able to answer one, but you know what 100% of them can answer? What is your Fran time? I always ask and so that news of affiliate fees are doubling or more probably sent everybody into this knee-jerk reaction of fear of well, I can't afford this. I can't do this. Well, and that, I think, is where a lot of it came from. And I think that the newer affiliate owners, or any affiliate owner, if that you feel like down at the end of the day, that was your reaction, the reason for it, reach out to me. I'll look at your books. I'll set you a budget. I come from finance, so for me it comes easy, but the average affiliate is not healthy.
Well, and I'm the one that is that I'm not finance oriented. That's why I call Craig down.
Yeah.
But you know what? And here's the thing, and this is where let's circle back. Here's the thing that you brought up earlier, Craig, about CrossFit coming out and saying hey, we need your help. If they said, and even took applications and said, hey, you know what? We need to run a CrossFit accounting course, and you're going to get, how about CEUs for your affiliate, right?
Oh,
so you know what?
You don't need to renew your level 2,
but you need to get this number of CEUs or even get to a max out the CEUs, but like you just get there with an accounting course, right? Not like they're going to test you or whatever necessarily, but like go
but just basics,
right? Oh, how many real estate brokers, commercial, residential, anything is in the CrossFit community? Apply, guess what, for a nominal fee. Hey, create this course. Great, here it is. It's all online course. And then owners, right? Affiliate owners only sign up for this, as Mike, mentions here, like this is an OG masterclass. So they're going to sign up for that masterclass in accounting, right? And you're going to get CEUs for your affiliate, right? Like, so then, you know what? If I reach this number, if I maintain this number of CEUs, I don't have to do level 2 again. Like I've done it twice. I did it when it was coaches prep, and then I've done it as level 2. Like, do I really need to do that again? Like, how about, like, give me I got my lease coming up. Can I, maybe I can take a, commercial, a real estate CEU course or something, you know what I mean? Like create these other types of things. Like, I don't know, that would be.
No, I signed a commercial lease in 2014. I didn't learn from my first experience. I signed a commercial lease in 2014
to Alamo?
At Alamo, a different location, a retail lease. And man, that thing almost took down all of Diablo, that lease. And I remember telling a member the story of the lease and what happened and why my rates just went arbitrarily up like immediately. And he said, well, the education is in reading the fine print.
Yeah.
The experience is what you get when you don't.
Yeah. But that's why the OG affiliates are here to say, like, just give us a call.
When the property is reevaluated or revalued, because the ownership changes hands or the trust that owns it or whatever.
That happened to me.
And so then guess what? Oh, hey, your taxes just went up. You're like, wait a second, what? Yeah. You're like, well, it says in your lease that you are responsible for any increase. And you're like, oh my gosh.
How many affiliates do you guys remember that got closed because of the noise thing? Right. Yeah. So they signed.
That still happens. I still see that.
Yeah.
Walk into your potential location with a barbell loaded at 135 and throw that thing a couple times and sit and wait for a phone call. I think Austin actually said that first, but like that is what you do. You don't just be like, oh, it should be fine. No, you sit there, you make a bunch of noise, and you just sit and wait. Also, unpopular opinion, I know, and I'm going to get a lot of upset things about this, but the L2 requirement to open affiliate, I think is valid only because when you open a new affiliate, who's doing all the coaching? Yeah, but who's doing all of the coaching?
They
usually as a brand new affiliate, they are doing the coaching. Yeah. So I do not see the harm in having a new affiliate where the owner probably is doing a lot of the coaching and training of coaches, that they should be the master of their craft as the leader of that community. The ones that have been open for 15 years, I get it. Also just get your too at that point, but that is where I kind of agree with, if you're going to open an affiliate, you should be an L2. Also, if you're going to open an affiliate and that $1,200 is the make or break, you are not ready to open your affiliate.
That's a good point.
I know I'm going to get a lot of hate on that, but
I think they should do a little bit better vetting of they say that you should be coaching for 6 months before you take the level 2. Like, come in with some skills.
Agreed.
Both times I would go, the first one, coaches prep, people showed up with experience and generally were pretty good. The level 2 that I went to in 21, there was it was a big OG fest of Northern California. That was a lot of fun. But there were some folks that you're like, someone puts you in front of people, right? Like, you're like, there's no way. Come on, right? Like, no.
That could potentially deter somebody from opening an affiliate, though, right? Like, if they go to their L2 and they're put on blast. What is this?
Does anyone talk about how switching to paper no can come? Jacob, you just won the best comment.
Oh,
of the
yeah.
entire-
Well, hey, no software is don't believe the hype of that software is gonna help your retention. That's ridiculous. Nobody stays or leaves your gym because of which software you have.
this is Tim's
Claim to fame.
claim to fame, Zia. Sorry. Anyway, sorry,
But no,
Jamie, we interrupted you.
to the point of the L2. I think like if you require an L2 and you're looking to open an affiliate and you go through the process, you do your L2, and then you kind of get owned on how to coach people, that could maybe deter somebody from opening an affiliate right away. Like maybe they'll go and, hey, maybe I join this affiliate down the street and maybe try to get some coaching under my belt there and then move on. But to what Zia said, the fact that one of the things that we always hear and that I've personally have always heard, it's like, why you can only go to you can go to a one weekend event and then you can open up a business, right? Which is great. But at the same time, that maybe somebody from an outside in doesn't have the same perspective of like,
it's been a huge criticism.
It's been a huge one. And now that you have to experience how to actually coach, and I mean, now that there's also a test for the level 2, it does kind of make it more credible.
It sure does.
So I like the level 2 as a requirement.
I would be interested to know if the coach that Zia had at her recent
whether they have their L2,
whether they have their L2 or not.
Yeah,
that sounded like just more of a care thing, though. Like that sounded like they just.
I mean, I don't know if they were a good coach. They didn't do any of it. Who knows? I mean, just
you could go to their what levels they're at now.
I scaled and skipped things, and I was like, still like, I can't do this workout.
Oh my gosh.
It made it up the day of
probably.
Well, Jamie Lee, we could just do like somebody said, in the comments, we could have like our own, start a page somewhere of our our approved gyms that we visited.
Yeah, like the Michelin thing, right? Like what
like you said, right? Like giving out Michelin stars to the good gyms.
I told CrossFit to put on the affiliate map a little place where anybody can go to. Did you recently drop into CrossFit gym? We'd like to hear from you.
Kind of like a little mini message board.
And they don't have to publish those reviews, but it's just a little
comments.
Yeah, and then when they get those comments, like Zia could go in and make a comment, an anonymous comment about dropping in at the gym, that can get forwarded. All it does is just get forwarded to the owner.
Yeah.
It's just an easy way to police the process.
That is a really easy way to help increase the quality control.
And I think the other one, I think if with the L2 is when the L2 instructors are coaching the L2 is they make sure they make a note of anybody that cried and they aren't allowed to open an affiliate.
You get a check mark next to
if
it.
you cry,
that's our policy.
We're going to give you your L2, but you are not allowed to open an affiliate because you're going to cry a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say that you're gonna have to toughen up just a little bit.
Just a little bit as an affiliate on it.
Well, you mentioned another thing I was just thinking of, and kind of keen on what Zia said about having new affiliate or somebody wants to start an affiliate, talking to experienced affiliates, and this was a big help. I've used this concept a lot for myself, mostly, is that. Don't think of it like you're competing against this affiliate, right? Like maybe, and it might be easier, like for me and Craig, because we're across the bay from each other, right? Like we can talk to each other and we're not really threatened. There's no threat, right, at all. But if you think like you're competing with this affiliate, right? So you're competing with these other affiliates to fight metabolic disease or obesity or whatever it is, right? Like these kinds of things. And so then it's way more of that team concept. So then, and I say that because I'll credit my wife. She told me that going to the games, maybe the first or second time as a master, she's like, don't think of it as competing against them because I can't physically change what they do. I can't impact their workout unless I throw my barbell at them or something like that, or kick them when they're on the rope or whatever. Right?
Pull them back when you run by them.
Pull them at, kick their jump rope out of the way and it gets tangled up and I drag it down the lane. But other than that, I can't affect them. But I can use them, just them being there and competing to make me better.
Yeah.
Right. And so then, Jason being a mile away, guess what? Makes me better, right? When we first moved here, there was 3 of us within a 1 mile radius. You know, I mean, but we all had different, strengths and different models and different, abilities.
When I hear about Ukiah owning their own building, it fires me up. It does. It makes me want to figure out how I can do that for us.
Yeah.
No question. It's the coolest thing ever. We make it. It's the same thing in class. You look across the room and you see someone going, you're like, man, I want to push myself.
Yeah, you don't ever want to wish somebody like, I hope they miss this lift. Like,
that's right.
You get juiced when somebody makes the lift, and then it's like, well, now I got to go do it.
I did Hollyman on Sunday. Chris McCreary warmed up and he's been gaining strength, and he got to 185. And
he's been doing the barbell class.
That's what Yvonne said. And so he did 185, and he's like, I'm going to do 185. And I was planning on doing 165. And I looked at him, I was like, son of a bitch. It was great because I did my first, so I warmed all up and I hit 185, and I was like, I hit it. I'm like, fuck you, Chris McCreary. But it was awesome.
Oh, wow.
How long did it take you?
47 minutes.
A while.
But it wasn't the clean that was holding me back. It was them handstand push-ups. That, by the way, that is a great hero workout. And
I love that workout.
It's
one of my favorites.
It's because it's 135 handstand push-ups, wall balls, and heavy clean, and it is so cool because it takes a long time. You get into the doldrums, you have to do a lot of thinking about why you're there and doing it, and it's doable by everybody. You can scale for your community. I told our master's class, because we kind of tested out a master's class, that I want to do that workout for Diablo community sometime next year. But I highly recommend people. What else do you guys want to add today? You guys are, by the way, we're caretakers of the forest, by the way.
Yeah. Did you talk about that?
A little bit. And it was, by the way, Caretakers of a Forest was a document that was produced for the CEO of CrossFit at the time. It was produced by the CEO of CrossFit at the time.
In
2018. It was just kind of a review of the world of CrossFit, of CrossFit. It was kind of it's a white paper, essentially. Like, here's what we're doing, here's where we're going, here's what the numbers are. And it's been out and it's been circulating around the CrossFit community, and the idea being that we're not architects of a skyscraper. The role of HQ is not to build a skyscraper, but to be caretakers of the forest, and the forest being the community of affiliates. And I love that concept and that thinking. Like, we're the ones that are growing and spreading.
That's good.
And then we want HQ to nurture it, so enable us so that we can grow and keep away the loggers and the
not chop it all down and
right. Just enable us to thrive.
What was the Dr. Seuss book? The one, the Lorax.
Yeah.
And it's a great way to think about it. We're not building this high skyscraper here. We're expanding the forest. And it's the affiliates that are they're the indoctrination centers for the CrossFit Games, for the certifications, for everything else. The affiliates have to thrive in order for this whole thing to grow. Doing it online is
do it together.
Yeah,
we're so against one another right now over this news. Like, it happened. It's not going back. Let's move forward together and stop attacking. It's not us versus HQ. It's not us versus the people who disagree. It's just, we're all in this together. It's happening to all of us. We got to move forward and
to preserve the methodology and the community. And let me tell you what.
Community.
All of this, none of this continues. If this thing breaks up in any way, or for some reason or other that it splits and people leave and go join another faction, this whole thing goes to shit. The whole thing. And and everybody can think, well, yeah, independently, Diablo will probably be fine. We'd be fine without it, but we lose so much global momentum in that happening, and it becomes a not fun place to be. And the cure against the cure for chronic disease is lost. All of it is. It'll turn into one big ugly freaking mess. And nobody wants that. And if you're attacking CrossFit from the sidelines, fucking stop it. Like, this is the decision that's been made. Don Fall is a smart man, if you're worried about them, figure out how to get in contact with them and have a conversation with them. I can assure you that your confidence will be restored. And we need to trust them to manage the private equity board that it has an interest in growing the value of the company, which is aligned, by the way, with all of us. As their value grows, so do the value of each of the affiliates and the pocketbooks of the owners and the salaries and incomes of all of the coaches. And then we're able to do more with that as a result, curing more chronic disease than ever before. So stop and lighten up on.
Listen.
Yeah, let's collaborate. And
Same team.
Yep.
All on the same team.
And so
But,
Got to move on.
the three messages for new affiliate owners: talk to one of these guys. Talk to Zia, talk to Tim, talk to me, talk to your affiliate owner down the street that's been there a while. Send them a message. I'm meeting with someone on Friday at the affiliate that sent me an email message, wants to have coffee with me. I got time for coffee. And then and so do that. The second thing is, Tim said, don't chase shiny objects. Zia's done it. I've done it.
I've done it.
Jamie did it. We've all done it. CrossFit works. Run really, really good CrossFit classes, and trust CrossFit. They're going to do some. The expectations are high for them now.
That's 3.
They're going to deliver.
Trust
that's 2.
CrossFit is 3.
Well, no, that's just
okay.
That's
part of 2.
The third one. What was our third one? We had 1, 2. Now
I think Zia had 3, right?
Yeah, Zia was the third one. Oh, what was your third? Oh, yeah. No, I'm sorry. That third one.
Your numbers.
It's the most important one. That should be
a
almost
good
number
business
one.
owner.
Be a good business owner.
That's right.
If CrossFit doesn't offer certification for it, go online, watch a class, go take a class, go to community college.
There's resources.
You don't think it. You think it'll be a waste of time. Your first couple hours of class, a master class online, you'll be like, oh, and then you'll get into like, what? Learn how to learn what your balance sheet is and what your P&L is and how many customers you need, and go from there.
If you don't know what those are right now,
yep. Talk to affiliate owners. Don't chase shiny objects.
It's time to figure it out.
Talk to affiliate owners. Don't chase shiny objects. And run a good bit and know how to run your business. All right. You guys, thanks for the time today. Appreciate it. We went a little long and we were a little late. I apologize. It was fun. It was a great conversation. So
you're welcome.
We'll see you. We'll see you again soon. I'd like to once a month if you guys are down for it. I'd love to kind of repeat this. It's a fun. It's always fun to talk to you guys. Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Right on.
Till next time.
Have a good one.
Cheers,
guys.
See ya.